Whispers of Fernandez creep, Lansing goes fast complete. Dirty noise loud and clear, big God conquers fear. Feels like the end is near, racing the sheds another tear. Time is right, lift the global trophy high. Underneath the ring of lights, feel formations unify. World united till we die.
Well, we certainly had an interesting preliminary league last week, and this week very well could be no different. It is time for our second of 4 qualifier preliminary leagues here at the 2025 Global Trophy. This is the Asia and Oceania Preliminary League. I am Masterath, and I'm joined, as always, alongside
Samuel at 64, and yes, of course, we saw last week Norway winning the European Preliminary League, and a shock qualification, I suppose you could say, for Macedonia, or North Macedonia, sorry, with at the expense of Montenegro represented by Belarus.
Yeah, a very, very good performance from North Macedonia, and the return of Iceland as well, which could be very interesting in the European qualifiers when it comes to that. Could be interesting to see how sort of the new teams that haven't been in the Global Trophy for a bit will fare in the qualifiers, and that could very well be the same in this tournament. Obviously, last year we had the shock entries of teams like New Zealand and North Korea being in this preliminary league, and New Zealand doing very well, North Korea not making it. This year they are both in the qualifiers due to their rankings, so we have
some new teams to add in there.
Yeah, we have 8 spots available. Who's making it through? Let's find out with our dud team for this year. Representing Asia, it is Myanmar.
Yeah, or Burma, as they are otherwise known. Myanmar have fallen down the rankings quite a lot, down to this stage where they're now the dud team, sadly, which is unfortunate.
Yep, former competitors in the preliminary league, but they just haven't been able to do barely enough, because the team above them, 1 rank above them, is Chinese Taipei.
Close. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Chinese Taipei, or Taiwan as they're otherwise known, I think.
Yep. Next up, it's the Asia and Oceania Preliminary League punching bags. They're back! Again! It's the Maldives!
Yeah, but where would you want to go on holiday, though?
Oh yeah, Maldives, yeah.
Do you want to go to Myanmar, Taipei, or the Maldives?
Oh yeah, give me Maldives any day. But also, you could probably do quite well in football over there if their national team's anything to go by.
This is true.
I say that, but their rank is high. Their national rank is higher than Chinese Taipei and Myanmar, so there's that.
They clearly have beaten some teams.
Yeah, they've beaten a team at some point. Well, in an official match that wasn't a friendly, so they're one better than San Marino. I miss San Marino. I wish they'd actually start doing really good at some point, but they are San Marino for a reason. Next up, it is representing our first team, representing the Oceania section. It is Vanuatu.
Yep, Vanuatu, of course, also pretty much some punching bags regarded in this competition, so don't hold high hopes for them. You never know.
And next up, it is Singapore.
The micro, city-state of Singapore. Again, I don't expect them to do that well, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it could certainly be very interesting when it comes... There's a couple of teams in here that I'm looking at, just with my Global Trophy brain of doing this for so long, going, we could see that... What was it, 7-1? In the last... There was a
7-0 as well,
yeah,
I think.
The 7-0 record from last year, from last week, could very easily be broken here. Well, Maldives is in it, so of course it can be broken.
Absolutely.
Next up, it is New Caledonia now. Obviously, New Caledonia are not in this game. They weren't a recognized FIFA nation back when this game was created. So, just like we had with Montenegro, they will have to have a team substituted in. And the team that is substituted in for them is representing Europe. Essentially lower than them in the FIFA rankings, it's Andorra.
not a bad team, Andorra. Like they have, I think they've been. Okay, they're not a great team. Let's not get carried away here, but they're not an awful team. And I think there's FC Andorra, who the football club who actually play in Spanish's kind of tiering system, and they're quite a fun save on Football Manager.
Aren't they in like the Segunda division or something?
I think they're tier 3. I think. Or tier 4, I can't remember exactly, but they're a good team to play as on Football Manager.
On my Football Manager save, what I've done is I've just tried to get a Finnish team to win the Champions League right now.
How's that going for you?
Well, I'm managing FC Haka at the moment, who were dominating Finnish football about 20 years ago, but they recently got relegated. I'm still playing Football Manager 2020. I haven't upgraded yet to I'll probably wait till 2025's one comes out.
I think let's face it, the best saves to do on Football Manager 2025 will be Bordeaux. Let's face it.
Yeah. Or just whenever anyone does that 16-tier English league, and I'll just manage old Sodbury again.
Or like Cadbury Football Club.
Yeah, I'll manage old Sodbury to the title. Actually, no, I'll probably just manage South Cerney, which is apparently a football club, and South Cerney is like a couple of minutes drive from here.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, sort of thing. Anyway, I miss Football Manager. I'll probably play that after we do these recordings. Go back to FC Hacker, see what we do. Or I could do my my run as the manager of the Cook Islands.
Oh god.
That's fine. I wanted to be manager of San Marino, but in 2020 you can't manage San Marino for some reason.
Oh, that's strange.
I wanted to do that. I thought that'd be so fun. Can you get a win with them? You know?
Is it possible?
Yeah, is it possible to get a win with San Marino? That'd be fun.
What about Gibraltar?
Yeah, or Gibraltar. But I chose Cook Islands, who I think were like FIFA ranked 197 or something at one point.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, next up, it is, I believe, let me just have a double check. Yep, it is Hong Kong.
Another kind of principality. Of course, Hong Kong now is no longer English owned. It's owned by China now.
Yeah, that was back in 1997, wasn't it? That.
Yep. Tony Blair handed it back to them.
Yeah, it certainly did. And then there was that really crap game port called Hong Kong 1997 or Hong Kong 97, which was literally just bad. I probably made better games back in college. I made Angry Birds in college, and that was a brilliant game. It was like Super Mario Bros, only you were playing as like an Angry Birds looking thing, but it was actually just Mr. Burns' head. Yeah. The inanimate carbon rod had been stolen by the Homer Pig. And you playing as Angry Burns, who literally just, his voice is just... That's all it's the best game ever. But I forgot how to program video games, so I'd love to get Angry Burns back. I don't have any of it. I doubt the college will have it anymore. Either they probably just remove it. Next up, so after Hong Kong, next up, another team representing the Oceania contingent of the Asian Oceania qualifiers. It's Tahiti.
Tahiti, of course, were in the was it Confederations Cup a few years ago? They lost 9-1 or something like that to Spain,
so.
I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Or Brazil, one of those two.
Yep. Next up, it is I know Oman's brother, Yemen.
Yeah, Yemen currently these days a pretty spicy place to live, I think, if all things are considered. Yemen are I think they've been starved to death by the Saudi Arabians.
Well, they may get some revenge if they can get past this.
Maybe.
Next up, it is another team representing the Oceania contingent. It's Fiji.
I think it's fair to say that Fiji are more associated with rugby than football.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. I think a lot of these sort of like the island nations in Oceania, they're certainly more known for their rugby. I mean, if you look at like Tonga, for example, and Samoa.
Exactly. They're all big dudes, aren't they? None of them are like nimble footballers.
They're going to be fair. Would you want to be as a dainty little footballer going against like a Tongan or Samoan football team? I wouldn't. I'd want to be put on the bench.
Exactly.
Sod that. Next up, I'd say a team that usually does quite well in these preliminary leagues. It's Afghanistan.
Yeah, you'd probably be seeing them towards the top, I think. Afghanistan, they're a pretty decent team when it comes to these preliminary leagues. They have been known to qualify from Asia as well on numerous occasions, so let's see how they get on.
Yep. And next up, it is another team that's usually quite high in these rankings when it comes to the preliminary league. It's Turkmenistan.
Yeah, another team that I think they have won a preliminary league in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, no, they've certainly in the sort of last 5 years they've made it to a global trophy final before. That's for certain.
Exactly. So they're no slouches.
Yep. Next up, the last team to represent the Asia and Oceania contingent because yeah, we don't have any Papua New Guinea this year.
No, they've dropped down out of the rankings.
Yep.
Sadly.
But we do still have Solomon Islands though.
We do indeed, and they're probably going to get absolutely smashed up.
They probably will. Now, here's an interesting one, because there are 3 big names coming up. First up, former Global Trophy finalists recently, it's Kuwait.
Yeah, Kuwait have kind of slipped down the order. Well, not only that, but also teams who have pre-qualified have also qualified for the finals, which is also important to note. So they will have slipped down because of that.
Yep, specifically teams like Malaysia and the Philippines.
Correct.
On that. Next up, another big name. I'm pretty certain, you may want to fact check me on this, Sam, but former Asian champions, Indonesia.
Yes, they were. They were the Asian champions back in 2007. So, getting on for nearly 20 years ago, but, they were still, once upon a time, Asian champions.
So they were the highest ranked team. This is a shocker, because I think it's the first time they've ever been in a preliminary league. It's India.
India's a strange country because they've got so many people that live there. Like, a good chunk of the world's population live in India, over 1 billion people. They couldn't find 11 players to make a very high-quality professional football team. Or like a high-quality international team, let's say that much.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the team that are higher ranked than them, you've got the Kyrgyz Republic is there.
Yeah.
Palestine's there. Syria's there. Jordan's there.
Crazy, isn't it?
Lebanon's there. And India,
Well,
with that over 1 billion people, lower ranked than them.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Anyway, with Myanmar as our dud, we begin the Asia-Oceania Preliminary League with, interesting start. We got New Caledonia being represented by Andorra versus Afghanistan. Probably one of the front runners, I'd say, just before the tournament began.
Yeah, I think Andorra, this is going to be an interesting indicator as to how good Andorra are actually going to be in this. High hopes for them, but Afghanistan are a well-established preliminary team at this point.
Certainly are on that one. It's a 3-3 draw.
What a start.
That's one way to kick off. Fiji versus Hong Kong is next.
I have no idea how this one's going to go. I'd say probably Fiji the favourites, I think.
Yep, a slightly higher rank than Hong Kong in the FIFA rankings, at least. 4-0. Big win for Fiji. They go top for now.
Yep, indeed. And Maldives are going to get their bye win right from the get-go as they take on Myanmar.
It might be their only points.
It could be. It could be. But there are a few, kind of weaker nations in this, aren't there? So we'll have to see how the Maldives get on. But, this could be their Spurway. Never seen him before.
I think Spurway's been there a couple of times, I think.
Okay.
He's one of the lesser known referees that we just don't care to mention too much.
Yeah, no one cares about Spurway. Much like Spurs.
Well, he does do it the Spur way, so that makes sense.
The Tottenham way.
Yeah.
So just doesn't win trophies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right, fair. Well, that's Maldives 3 points on the board. I wonder if the only time we say that in this competition. It may well be.
Certainly could, but currently Maldives are in. They're in qualification contention right now, Maldives.
They are indeed, and at the moment, Fiji have obviously won 4-0, and the team that they beat 4-0, Hong Kong, are below the dud. We'd love to see it.
Oh, yes. Solomon Islands now, they will take on Singapore.
Battle of the S's.
Very interesting match, I think this is going to be. Win for Singapore, 2-1.
Moves them into third place for now. Of course, only one game played for them. Tahiti and Taipei take each other on.
Yep, next up, an Asia versus Oceania clash, just like the last one was. And it's a 1-1 draw between the two.
think both will be happy to get a point on the board at this early stage.
Certainly Chinese Taipei being the second lowest ranked team in this league.
Definitely.
Next up, it is Turkmenistan, and they will take on Vanuatu. So another Asia versus Oceania match here.
I'd say Turkmenistan are the overwhelming favourites for this one.
Certainly say on that one. Yet 5-0. They go above Fiji into first for now.
Vanuatu pushes our dud team higher up the table.
Yep, mine are now in 14th. Good for them. Kuwait now will take on Yemen.
Yep, 2 Middle Eastern teams.
Kuwait, I'd say the better side.
I think so.
Yep, 2-1. They move into 5th now. And it's India-Indonesia in our last match of the first fixture.
Yep, the 2 kind of surprise big powerhouses, you'd say, in Asia that are in this competition. I'd say Indonesia are the favourites, though, being former Asian champions.
Certainly, with that pedigree there. It is 3-0 Indonesia. They're off to a good start.
They are indeed. So game week 1 is done. Game week 2 kicks off with Afghanistan and Fiji, 2 teams in the qualifications bracket at the moment.
Yep, both unbeaten, both won their first... Oh, no, sorry. Fiji won their first match. Afghanistan obviously drew with Andorra in that 3-3 match. But they do win this time. Afghanistan clip Fiji's unbeaten run at, well, 1.
Yes, indeed. And Hong Kong take on Andorra, the 2 teams that who they played each other in the first round, swapping round. And Andorra have a chance to maybe replicate what Afghanistan have done.
Certainly could happen. It is 4-0 win for Andorra, so New Caledonia go top for now.
They do it. They do indeed. Above Afghanistan on goals scored and goal difference. Singapore take on the Maldives. Of course, the Maldives got a bye win in their first round. Singapore winning 2-1 in their first game against the Solomon Islands.
Win for Singapore, 2-0. They go top by 2 for the moment.
By 2 clear points, and Solomon Islands are going to get 3 points themselves as they get their dud win over Myanmar.
So I think it's been an interesting beginning so far in sort of the first sort of 2 fixtures so far.
I think Andorra are going to qualify here. I think they are kind of well in the kind of power curve of the opponents that they've got. I think they're not hopelessly outclassed because they drew with Afghanistan, who are a good team.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's all good for New Caledonia so far. There's not really a foot wrong put so far for Andorra, representing New Caledonia. So, yeah, it's been a good start. It's been a good start for them. It's also been... There's been some interesting performances in there, to say the least. But still, we haven't seen, apart from a 5-0 and a 4-0, a massive goal tally yet.
We might see one here, though. Turkmenistan take on Tahiti. Tahiti drawing with Taipei in their first game. Turkmenistan, of course, as we said, won 5-0 in their first game.
We're going to replicate that with some more goals. Only 2, and they let in 1. But Turkmenistan, that's still enough for them to go top for the moment.
Yep, on goal difference, they have 3 more goals in their back pocket over Singapore. Next up is Vanuatu and Taipei. Vanuatu, of course, lost their first game, Chinese Taipei, drawing with Tahiti.
Yep, a win for Taipei, a decent win, could put Myanmar back in 14th. Oh, they will! 4-0 to Chinese Taipei. That's a good start for them.
Indeed it is, and they've pushed themselves up into 4th place. Indonesia and Yemen, the penultimate fixture of game week number 2.
Yemen losing their first match, while Indonesia did get a win. If they're able to get... essentially win by 3 goals and, well, so it'd be like a 4-1 or better, then they could go top here with a big result. Yep. Not big enough, but 2-0 though, that puts 3 teams on 6 with our last match of fixture 2, Kuwait versus India.
Yeah, Kuwait, of course, got a win in their first game. India lost in their first game. They're down in 13th. They'll want to get going sooner rather than later.
Certainly do it on that one. 4-2, Kuwait. A big result for them moves them up to 3rd, so that's 4 teams on 6.
Absolutely, and currently Turkmenistan lead the way on goal difference. Then it's Indonesia, Kuwait, Singapore.
Yep, and then there's New Caledonia being represented by Andorra in 5th place so far.
Yep. Our 3rd game week kicks off with Afghanistan and Hong Kong.
Yep, kicking off fixture 3. It's 1-0 Afghanistan. 7 points for them now.
Absolutely good start for them. They've still undefeated after 3 games. Andorra take on Fiji, both in and around the qualification zone currently. Andorra 6th, Fiji 9th.
Fiji obviously recently losing their second match. Andorra still undefeated so far. That stays the same. 6-0. Big result for Andorra.
Yeah, huge result. Puts them top of the table for now. Solomon Islands are going to get their, next match against Maldives underway. 2 island states.
I was about there going, were you about to say they're going to get their 3 points against the Maldives?
Oh, definitely wasn't trying to say that at all. No.
Well, you should have.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
4-0 Solomon Islands. Maldives lose again.
And Singapore are going to get their 3 points as they going to go to a perfect 9 as they take on Myanmar.
Yep, and that's going to be that's going to push Myanmar down a little bit. They're not going to be in 14th.
I think the other 2 teams are also on -9 goal difference, aren't they, behind them?
Oh, it might be. Oh yeah, it depends on, I guess, if they've scored or not. I guess.
There's Cuppet.
The other 2.
We don't care.
There's old Cuppet again.
We don't care about him.
We don't care about Cuppet. You're not Vinnie Jones. You're not Faroe Islands conspirator. You're not. Where's Len?
Where is Len?
Where's Len gone?
Where is Len Zingaro? Where has he gone?
Everyone's just there going around saying, "Where's Len?" We put you in the damn intro, Len. Show up.
God's sake.
Lazy bastard. You're on the bloody Spanish beaches again. Just sunning yourself in your string vest and nothing else. Police will get you done for indecent exposure soon.
Well, it depends if it's a nudist beach or not, doesn't it, I guess?
True. That's true. Tahiti versus Vanuatu. 2 teams who have not... Well, they haven't got a... Well,
Tahiti
they haven't
got a
win
point.
Yet.
Tahiti have got 1 point to their name. Vanuatu currently bottom on goal difference, level with Hong Kong and Myanmar. So if they lose this game, they are outright bottom again.
Certainly could. It's 3-0, so yeah, Myanmar will stay 14th. May even be better than that, depending on how India does and Yemen does. They could be up to 12. Oh, please have the dud team be 12. Just once.
We could see that happen. Turkmenistan, meanwhile, they could have a chance to go on to a perfect 9 points as they take on Taipei, who are currently on 4 and undefeated.
Yep, a win of anything at all would put Turkmenistan top for now. It is, that'll do it. 1-0. They stay above Singapore.
Yemen take on India, so we are going to see someone get off the mark here between these 2 that are in 12th and 13th.
No!
I know.
Oh, okay. India with the win. 1-0. They move up to 11th place.
Above Fiji for now. Kuwait and Indonesia to round off the 3rd game week.
Yep, Indonesia, the only team yet to have let in a goal so far. That's not the case anymore, but it is a 2-1 win for Indonesia. They move up to 3rd.
Yep, and they still 100% record as they move into 3rd place onto game week number 4, where Afghanistan take on the Maldives.
Oh, this could be a big result. This could be record broken.
It could be.
It could be. It is 9-1 to Afghanistan.
And that's going to do wonders for their goal difference as well. Andorra, representing New Caledonia, are going to move on to 10 points as well as they take on Myanmar, the dud team. This is very good for Andorra because it means that they're currently keeping pace with Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean they've had a really good start.
They have undefeated. They drew with Afghanistan as well, which is a great result to have. Now there he is. There he bloody
is.
There he is. RJ.
Well, that's 2 in a row that RJ's turned up for.
Well done.
Well done,
Finally got off the
RJ.
beach. Finally got off the beach with his string vest on.
No, that's Len.
Nothing else. Oh, sorry.
Unless it's Len just wearing Fernandez's skin.
No. It's Len is just RJ wearing a mustache. Maybe, who knows?
Oh yes, I've changed my name. This is simply a ploy so I can referee more matches.
For legal reasons, he's had to change his name.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole Faroe Islands thing. You have to change his name.
Well, yeah, it's understandable. It's understandable.
Right, so Fiji, currently in 11th place. 1 win, 2 losses to their name. Singapore, their opponents, unbeaten, perfect, 9 points out of 9 at the moment.
But they have also played the dud team, so that is important to bear in mind. So 2 of those wins are on pure merit. Singapore, of course, have also beaten the dud team.
Certainly on that one. Fiji get the win here, though, so we're down to just 4 teams who have a perfect... Well, who haven't lost as of yet. Only 2 teams with a perfect record so far.
Absolutely. Solomon Islands taking on Hong Kong. Hong Kong currently above Myanmar. A big win here for the Solomon Islands would push them below them, though.
Myanmar would move back into 14th. Hong Kong get the win!
Wow. Big result for Hong Kong there. Solomon Islands will be kicking themselves. They lost to Hong Kong.
Yeah, that pushes Maldives down to 13th. No one's surprised. Yemen. They're up next, and they've got Tahiti. Tahiti currently in 10th place so far. Yemen down in 14th, yet to get off the mark.
Yeah, they've only scored 1 goal as well, which is kind of poor.
Yep, led in 5 in 3, which I guess isn't too bad, but it could certainly be better. That's better. 2-0 win for Yemen. They're off the mark.
They are indeed, and they move up into 11th place, just behind their opponents there, Tahiti. Taipei in 9th, Kuwait in 7th, take each other on.
Yep, in that bubble there that you sort of want to be at is Kuwait. Well, they're even higher than that now. 3-0 win for Kuwait.
Now, here we go. 2 big powerhouses to kind of in the penultimate game of the game week. 2 teams with the perfect record. One of those has got to go at least.
Yep, Indonesia take on Turkmenistan. Both teams 3 wins. A perfect 9 in 9. And it's Indonesia who carry on. They move to first.
And 3 teams now undefeated. And Indonesia, Andorra and Afghanistan, the top 3.
Yep, next up to finish off fixture 4 is Vanuatu, who are still below the dud, taking on India, who very recently got their first win on the board.
India probably the favourites, I'd say, but it's not going to be an easy game for them.
Certainly won't be. 10-1 India! Where did that come from?
Where has that come from? And Vanuatu, but they'll be happy they got their first goal on the board, but they are now way below Myanmar.
Certainly will be at the moment, and Afghanistan are about to get their 3 points to try and keep pack with Indonesia there.
Absolutely, that's a... I mean, I don't think it's going to really matter for Afghanistan. I think they're going to qualify regardless, but, the fact that they're going to get 3 points is fine. They're going to be wanting to compete to win the preliminary league. There's a lot of teams that could win it this time around, and Indonesia are currently the favourites, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, former Asian champions of the Global Trophy, remember, so they do have a bit of pedigree, even though that pedigree was almost 2 decades ago.
Yep, they've got some silverware in the cabinet at least.
Yeah, there or thereabouts for them, and they're asserting their dominance in this tournament so far. So with that, we move on with Afghanistan getting their 3 points, moving them on to 13 and top for now. That could very well change as one of our resident punching bags takes on Andorra, representing New Caledonia.
Yeah, chance for Andorra to move back to the top of the league.
Yep, if they score, if they win by 2 and then have a better goal total as well when it comes to that. That'll do it, 4-0. Andorra move back to top.
Yep, good result there. 4-0 win over the Maldives.
Solomon Islands, who are doing better than I was expecting, to be fair, at least at the moment. They've got Fiji, who currently lie 9th. Both teams with 6 points so far.
An all-Oceania clash. A win for the Solomon Islands would put them as high as 4th for now.
Yep, and same for Fiji. But again, Fiji will need certainly a bigger win. That's a big win! That'll move them to 7th, though.
It will indeed. That's a good enough result for them to move into 7th place. Solomon Islands down to 9th now.
Singapore could move up to 3rd with at least a shed load of goals if they can beat Hong Kong, who currently lie with 3 points so far.
Hong Kong did get their first win on the board against Solomon Islands, so they'll be looking to replicate that here against Singapore.
They'll certainly be trying. 4-3 Singapore. What a win for the neutral.
Yep, Singapore move up into 4th place. Still doing all right, though.
Yep, next match, Kuwait currently lie in 6th place, take on Tahiti, currently in 11th.
Kuwait probably the favourites here.
Yep, 9 points to Tahiti's 4. Well, now it's 12 points to Tahiti's 4. Look at that at the top!
I know, they're all kind of vying for those same positions at the moment, aren't they? Indonesia, of course, yet to play. Of course, if they lose that game, it'll be like the cat will be thrown well amongst the pigeons.
Or draw.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be... It could be, instead of it being like a fight for the 7th spot and not be the dud, it could be a fight for the title finally. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yep. Taipei, next up, currently in 10th place, Chinese Taipei. They will take on Yemen in 12th now.
Both with a win on the board.
Yep, and not much else. Taipei with the better goal difference. Not anymore, though. Yemen with the win will essentially leapfrog Taipei up into 10th place.
Indeed, they do. Turkmenistan will take on India, 2 teams in the top 8 at the moment. A win here for Turkmenistan puts them, well, could put them as high as 3rd.
Yep, India unbeaten in 2. We're looking to make that 3 here, but Turkmenistan, a win for them, essentially means between the top 6, 1 point in it.
Crazy.
It's a win for India!
Good result for India there.
It's a very good result for India. They move in, and now it's 9, 9, 9, 12, 12, 12, 13, 13. Can Indonesia run out ahead of the rest of the pack with a win here over Vanuatu, who are still
they
below
can.
my...
Yes, they can.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Well done,
Hey, but
Indonesia.
Vanuatu scored a goal.
They did, but they've let in 31, which is, if my math is not wrong, that is 5 1/5 a game.
They're on course
My
for
math
93
is wrong. It's
goals.
6 1/5 a game.
They're on course for 93 goals against.
That's not very good.
No,
That's not very
it's
good.
not.
Singapore currently in 5th place, take on Afghanistan in 3rd. Just 1 point separating these two.
No, 1 point between them is very, very close indeed. Afghanistan probably the favourites here, though.
Yep, with the better goal difference as well. Afghanistan, they've been more dominant in their matches. Well, 10-0.
Wow. That's a statement, isn't it?
Certainly is for Afghanistan. They're saying to Indonesia, you're not going to take this title so easily.
Andorra need to do something very similar. They take on the Solomon Islands next.
Certainly do. Solomon Islands currently in 9th. And they will do that. There's going to be some competition for this title.
6-0 running out winners there, Andorra. That's a great result for them.
Fiji now currently in that 8th spot. They don't want to stay there, though. They will take on the Maldives.
A big win for them could put them as high as 5th.
Certainly could on that one. They'll take it, I think. 2-1. They move to 5th.
There you go. Good result for Fiji. It pushes everyone down just so. Hong Kong are going to get their 2nd win on the board as they take on Myanmar, who will remain above the dud. Remain above Vanuatu, who may as well be the dud at this point.
Yeah. Hong Kong, that will move them, I believe, to 11th. At the moment. So certainly not out of it yet. Obviously, we're still very early. We're not even halfway through when it comes to this. But this has been very interesting so far. I don't think we've had a fight for the title in a long time.
Yeah, it's been close so far. You know, there's not been an all-out scrap.
Probably since like the St. Vincent Barbados one.
Yes.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean there was a bit of a clash for the European one, but it wasn't like a close one, was it really?
Yeah. It's all like a final fixture, who's going to win the title sort of thing. And it could be like 3 different teams or more. And this could be gearing up for that as well. There's no real runaway leader here. Could that change, though, as Indonesia currently perfect, 15 points out of 15 required, take on Tahiti, who are currently in 13th place.
Yeah, Indonesia, a win here just puts them comfortably back at the top of the table again.
Yep, 2 points ahead of their closest rivals, Afghanistan and Andorra, if they do get the win here, which they do, 2-0. The former Asian champions going well so far.
Yeah, perfect run for them. 6 out of 6 for Indonesia. Taipei take on India next. India in 7th after a good recovery. Taipei down in 12th.
Yep, after losing their first 2 matches, they have won their last 3, make that last 4, and they're in 4th place now.
Where'd that come from? Where have India come from?
They've woken up of India. You've woken the 1 billion person giant.
And they're back in it, aren't they? Turkmenistan take on Yemen. 2 teams in and around the qualification bubble at the moment as they prepare to be the penultimate game of game week number 6.
Certainly will on that one. And it's a draw between the two. That is not good for Turkmenistan.
It's good for neither of them because they are now both clear on points behind the top 7. That's not good.
That is certainly not good. Kuwait. Should I just press it?
Yep.
Thank you. That's the record for this tournament so far. 13-0 Kuwait against Vanuatu.
Oh, Vanuatu. How many are they on now?
44. 44 in 6.
So they're averaging -7 a game.
Yeah, seven a game. Almost 7.5 a game. 7.5 goals a game.
That's crazy.
Jeez, Vanuatu, you're right. Please tell me Vanuatu plays
I've got the
Myanmar last. Please, come on. We want this. We want this. Comment down below saying you want it. Solomon Islands. They had a good start, but they're sort of faltering a bit here. They're currently in 10th. Afghanistan, runners-up so far. They want to keep the pressure on the currently unbeaten, untested, maybe, Indonesia.
But they've got the most goals, Afghanistan.
Certainly do so far. Big wins have certainly helped with that. And that's another big win, 9-1. The statement's being made.
They are keeping the pressure on Indonesia at the top. Certainly, Andorra will want to do the same against a Singapore team who, of course, just got battered 10-0.
They certainly did. Well, they didn't get battered, but that's another win for Andorra. And yeah, they're keeping pace at the moment with Indonesia. It's all up to Indonesia now.
It is indeed. Fiji are going to get 3 points on the board, which puts them on to 15 points. That's a pretty respectable score here for Fiji, and they have been stung by the dud team spot in the past. We know that, and at the moment they're doing everything right to not have to do that again.
Yeah, sort of a Macedonia situation for Fiji. They've been dud a couple of times. Is it their time to get in again? That'd be nice to see for Fiji. Plus, also it's another Oceania team.
Yeah, we always like seeing as many Oceania teams in as we possibly can.
Certainly.
They are the smallest represented continent. We want to see as many of these teams participating as we can do, and there's guaranteed to be 2 for Oceania. There's obviously Australia and New Zealand, but we want to see a 3rd.
Certainly do on that one. And really, if you're looking at sort of a 3rd automatic qualification, your best bet is Solomon Islands when it comes to their FIFA rankings, but they've got a long way to go to get there. So really, it's just fighting to try and stay in this top 8 in this tournament.
Fiji are doing that so far.
The way to do that. And Fiji, yeah, currently 5th place, doing well. Only 2 losses so far. Hong Kong versus the Maldives. Hong Kong, who have, from out of nowhere, started to make a move.
Yeah, if they win here, they put them above Yemen and 1 behind Turkmenistan.
Certainly would on that one. It is a win for Hong Kong. Hong Kong 1-0. They're up to 9 points. Good results for Hong Kong so far.
Yeah, they're picking up points where they can do, which is excellent for them. They will move on to 9 points into 9th place, by the way.
Yep, good for them so far. Tahiti next up, who have 4 points to their name. They take on the resurgent India. 4 wins in a row so far.
Yeah, big win here. Could put them as high as 4th, but it would have to be a massive win.
Certainly could. 6-1. That's a big result. Not big enough, but 5 in a row for India.
Yeah, it puts them on to 15 points and 14 goal difference. They're kind of lagging a bit behind on the goal difference, but not that far behind.
Indonesia, can they keep their unbeaten, perfect record intact as they take on Chinese Taipei, who really need to start getting the ball rolling?
I think the answer is yes.
It is, but only by 2-0, but Indonesia stay top by 2 points.
21 goals for, 2 against. It's been exemplary so far from Indonesia.
Certainly from the former Asian champions back almost 2 decades ago. Kuwait, currently in 4th place. They could start making some ground on Andorra and Afghanistan, but they'll need to beat Turkmenistan, who they're not looking great, are they, at the moment?
Only in 8th place currently. A Kuwaiti win puts them 1 point behind joint 2nd.
Certainly does. It's a draw between the two. That helps neither, really.
I think it probably helps Kuwait a little bit more than Turkmenistan, because Turkmenistan are still in 8th.
Certainly are, and Yemen could gain ground. Well,
they're going to gain ground.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
well done, Yemen.
Yeah, they've gained ground.
They have gained ground. Yemen, 1 behind Turkmenistan, 2 behind Singapore. As we go into fixture 8, we're at the halfway point now.
Yep, Tahiti, way down the bottom, take on Afghanistan, who are way up the top.
Yep, Afghanistan looking to keep the pressure on Indonesia for another fixture. 3-1, that'll do it.
It will indeed. Taipei and Andorra, Andorra, can they keep pressure on the top as well?
Yep, can New Caledonia keep the pressure just as Afghanistan have done? Yes, they can. 1-0.
They all count.
Yep, they're just going length for length here, these two. Really, it's all about, is Indonesia going to slip up at some point?
Possibly. We'll have to wait and see.
Turkmenistan, they do need to start the ball rolling here. Fiji, they've had a good run so far in the first half of this preliminary league. Currently in 6th, Fiji. Turkmenistan in that dud 8th spot. That's a better result for Turkmenistan. They move up to 7th with a 1-0 win over Fiji.
And it also closes that pack up, look, because now, okay, if results go their way, then you can have a team on 16, 15, 15, 14. It's all kind of bunched back up together. Hong Kong here, taking on Vanuatu. A chance for Hong Kong to go level with Singapore.
I mean, it's Vanuatu, so...
They will. Right?
Nope!
Oh!
Vanuatu beat Hong Kong, and it is all over. Myanmar will stay at the bottom for the rest of the tournament. That's a shame.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, wah, wah. Yemen, currently in 9th. They take on Maldives, who are currently in 14th. They've only got 1 win to their name, which I believe was the dud.
Correct.
Well, that's looking good for the Maldives, which means, to be honest, Vanuatu might actually just go above the Maldives, and Maldives finish bottom again.
I think they've got to play each other yet, so you never know.
Yeah, but Yemen, a good result for them. That keeps the pressure on Turkmenistan, and on Fiji, for that matter, who, with that result against Turkmenistan, they've gone from in the chasing pack to sort of being at the back now.
Yeah, and Kuwait are going to keep with the leading pack as they take on Myanmar for their dud result.
Yep, putting them on 19 points, which is, I'd say after, what is it, the 8th fixture? That's a good amount, I think, 19 from 8 games.
Remember, how many points was it to get through in Europe last week? Was it like, I would say it was like 24, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was sort of mid-20s.
So if you get into that stage, then you're probably going to qualify. So they're not far away from that already, halfway through. So good for them.
Yeah, given obviously a drastic result. Usually, I'd say around the mid to low 20 mark is where you want to be if you actually want to qualify.
Yeah.
So Indonesia, almost there already.
Well, you have to say, I think with Asia in particular, it's going to be a little bit low because you've got 3 or 4 teams at the top who are just like motoring away. So there's going to be less points available for everyone else.
Certainly do. And speaking of that, here's one of them. It's Indonesia looking to go back to the top with their current perfect record. They will take on Singapore, who have dropped down to 9th somewhere after 2 really bad results.
Yeah, they've kind of slipped back down the packing order, and they're down in 9th now.
Hang on a minute. Did Singapore play Andorra and Afghanistan back-to-back, and now they've got Indonesia?
That's rough, isn't it?
That is a rough 3 matches. 10-0. Indonesia back at the top.
Singapore have conceded 20 goals at least 20 goals in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And they've got minus 17 goal difference now.
Yeah, that is only like what? 2 teams, including and the dud, have a lower goal difference than that.
Wow.
That's not good.
Crazy.
That is not
crazy.
Good. Next up, it is the Solomon Islands. They will take on a resurgent India. 5 wins in a row for India, and they could try and break into that top 4 if they can keep going on their winning run. Solomon Islands currently in 11th place.
Yeah, if they win here, it puts them on 18 points. We'll put them, 5 clear of 8th place, which is a great position to be in for India.
The resurgence continues. 5-0 India.
Yep, and they are, as I said, 5 clear now of the dud spot. We are over halfway through. Afghanistan take on Taipei. Taipei on 4 points on the first page of teams here, taking on Afghanistan.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Taipei have been in 12th for quite a while, to be fair.
Everyone else keeps losing.
Yep, a 1-0 win for Afghanistan. That's a bit of a weak result for Afghanistan, but a win's a win. They'll take it.
You have to say, though, Taipei have played some pretty tough teams, and they've only conceded 14 goals. Compared to a lot of the teams around them, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, defensively, they have been quite well, but Hong Kong, I'd say, have been the better side when it comes to that. They've both done 14 goals against, at least for the moment, but Hong Kong, they've had the better results.
Andorra, can they keep tabs with Afghanistan? They've now got Tahiti, who are below Taipei in 13th place.
Yep, also on 4 points. Yes, they do. Another 1-0. They're matching them strength with strength.
Fiji are going to beat Vanuatu here.
Well done. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good result for Fiji there. That pushes them further away. So it could be the case that everyone's vying for that 7th spot and the 8 and 6 above are fine.
Possibly. I mean, Fiji are very close to Turkmenistan, who have now got Hong Kong in a big match for them. But so far, you'd have to say, there's a definite divide between the good and the bad teams in this.
Yep, Turkmenistan looking to keep pace with Fiji and India to an extent. 7-1. That's a statement from Turkmenistan.
And it moves them 4 points clear of Yemen in 8th place.
Yep. Yemen and Singapore both with a game in hand. Kuwait, they're looking to keep the pressure on. They have Maldives, who, yeah, they've only beaten the dud.
You'd probably say Kuwait are going to win this, yep.
You'd certainly expect so. Oh!
That's a huge result.
16-0 for Kuwait.
That's 3 off the all-time record. Wow, Kuwait.
Yep, and that's the current record at the moment for this tournament so far. 16-0 to Kuwait.
The Maldives absolutely smashed off the pitch, and it means that Kuwait now have the best goal difference out of everyone.
They certainly do. They've scored the most goals out of everyone as well.
Interesting stuff.
A big result for Yemen this. They get their dud now.
Yeah, so they're going to keep pace with Turkmenistan and Fiji, who I think they're kind of vying for position for, really, aren't they?
Yeah, this result will put them 1 point behind. Which, that's good for Yemen. It's good for them to try and keep in that. You want to keep in that pack with India and Turkmenistan and Fiji, because essentially all you can do is keep winning. All you can do is keep getting points and just hope one of them slips up. And then you can take your chance and move. And that's really what Yemen need to keep doing. They're rank outsiders in this, when it comes to this. But if they can keep doing this, they're certainly in with a shout.
I think so. Let's face it. They are, they're not of the same caliber as the two above them, but they are very, very close. And if they can keep focusing on themselves, they've just got to keep picking up points where they can do. One of them will slip up eventually, if not, right?
Yep, certainly. And does it get worse for Singapore? Now they have the resurgent India. 6 wins in a row for them so far.
Wow.
New record.
Wow. Only 2 off the all-time record there. India 17-0 winners.
India just looked at Kuwait and just went, yeah, 16's nice, isn't it? No.
Singapore have conceded 38 in their last 4.
That is bad for Singapore. And Singapore, they had a brilliant start as well. They had an amazing start, but they have faltered dramatically.
They've conceded an average of 9 a game for the last 4 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, against Afghanistan, Andorra, Indonesia, and India.
Wow.
Ouch. Next up, can't wait for them to face Kuwait if they haven't already. Next up, Solomon Islands take on Indonesia. Indonesia with a win puts them back to the top again by 2.
Solomon Islands, if they don't win, will remain 10 behind with only 6 games to go.
Yeah, not good for Solomon Islands there. 15-0!
We've got some proper results here, haven't we? We had some big wins.
Certainly do. A big result for Indonesia. That keeps them top. Oh, that puts them back to the top. Still with a perfect record. It's now a standoff between Afghanistan, currently in 2nd, versus Turkmenistan in that 7th place so far, but Yemen is breathing down their necks.
Yeah, they are. They need to kind of keep pace here at Turkmenistan, but they've got a very, very tough challenge in Afghanistan here.
A very tough challenge. It's a draw.
Wow.
I'd say Turkmenistan will take that.
I think they'll be happier, definitely, because that is a bad slip up for Afghanistan, because they could move to outright 2nd here, or maybe even outright 3rd.
Well, Andorra do have Vanuatu, so,
Andorra go top for now. Wowee.
Top for now. Fiji, with Turkmenistan's draw, Fiji could start pulling away here. They do have Tahiti, who are currently still in 13th.
Yeah, a win here for Fiji will put them potentially above India, but there'll have to be an enormous result for that to happen.
Yep, well, it would have to break the record. So it's going to be 2, right? Because we've done this joke twice in the last 2 years.
Yep. 2-0.
Am I not Nostradamus?
No.
I am Nostradamus, and here comes the gag. It's 2. There you go. It's happened again, folks. Maybe I should just say that for every single one. It would just be 2-0 across the board. Chinese Taipei, they're still in 12th with 4.
How is this possible? They've been there for ages.
They've been in 12th with 4 points for like 4 fixtures now. Wake up, Tahiti, Maldives, and Vanuatu.
It's not going to happen, is it?
Hong Kong currently in 10th place with 9.
A win could lift them above Singapore, though.
A draw, so at least Taipei, actually, they're not on 4 anymore, but they're still in 12th.
Yep.
Oh no.
Dear. Oh dear, here it comes.
Oh dear. Indonesia versus Maldives. Well, our current record's 17-0. 4.
Only 4. That's disappointing. I'm
It's
sick. Indonesia.
It's 2 times 2. It's 4-0. India. Oh, 8 wins in a row for India.
I know they've properly turned it around, haven't they, India? They've been superb since that early kind of wobble. They've been unstoppable, and it's a shame they didn't really get a decent footing in those first couple of games, because they'd be right up there, wouldn't they? There he is. There he is. The scumbag.
For the second time. Scum.
I know.
Scum. Hatui.
No, it's Hoktua.
No, I was referencing the Iron Sheik from like 1980s. I was referencing Boomer stuff. Not a flash in the pan for 15 minutes.
Yeah, but good for her, though. She's made a load of money out of it. Good for her.
Good for her, but she did appear on stage that one point and you could hear a pin drop.
True. True. India with a 3-0 win over Myanmar puts them, well, still with the chasing pack behind Indonesia.
But with Afghanistan's draw, India's right in the contention. Kuwait could be as well.
Yeah, Kuwaiti win here puts them 1 point behind Afghanistan and just above India.
Could this potentially be like a 5-way race for the title?
I think so. Singapore need to stop the rot, don't they? They've got Yemen next. This is a crucial fixture.
They certainly do. Yemen 4 points ahead of Singapore, and that could get a lot worse if Yemen do get a result here. Which they do. 3-0. Oh, that is not looking good. From 9th to 8th, it's 6 points.
With only 15 available, it's not looking great for if you're Singapore or lower in the table.
Certainly. Solomon Islands could at least try and get something out of this, but they do have Kuwait too. They've been on a tear so far, and they could go to 4th with a win.
Yeah, of course, they won 16-0 last game week, didn't they?
Certainly did. It's 6, so that's still good though for Kuwait. They stay in 4th place, and this really does now look like just a challenge for the title now for all 5 of those.
You've got 5 teams separated by 6 points. A slip up here and there opens the door for everyone.
Yep, for a title contention. Well, it could be that our top 8, it's all over early when it comes to that.
It could be.
Vanuatu will take on Afghanistan, so, well, you know. Yeah.
Double figures again for Afghanistan. 14-0.
Oh, one off.
Oh,
One off a dirty nice.
It was almost so nice.
It's almost a dirty nice. That's a clean nice, and we don't like those. Bleeding awful. Oh! Okay, this could be interesting for Turkmenistan. They got Andorra next.
Yeah, a challenge for Andorra. If Andorra win, they go top for now. If they don't win, then they remain in 3rd place, and Indonesia have a chance to capitalise. Turkmenistan, of course, currently in 8th.
Currently in 8th, but they are 6 ahead of 9th place so far. That's a draw there. Andorra slip up.
Andorra slip up, and it does mean that Turkmenistan do not overtake Yemen.
They do not, maybe for now, because we don't know who Yemen has, and they could lose with that goal difference. Fiji wanting to keep the momentum going. They take on Chinese Taipei, who are in 12th.
Still in 12th, but they have got 5 points now.
They got 5 now. They still have 5. Fiji with a win 2-1. That's a brilliant result for Fiji as well.
Yeah, they moved 5 clear of Turkmenistan with only 4 games remaining, so it's looking very, very good for Fiji.
Certainly is. Tahiti versus Hong Kong. Hong Kong really need to start getting a motor going. With Turkmenistan's draw.
Yeah, if they don't win this, it leaves them 9 behind with 4 wins. Well, 4 games left on the table, so it's crunch time for Hong Kong.
It will not look good for Hong Kong if they do not get a win here. They haven't. Tahiti win!
And Tahiti move into 11th place, which means finally...
Taipei's down to 13th!
Taipei down to 13th.
Yes! India, can they keep it going? 8 in a row so far. They've got the Maldives, who are crap.
So you'd think so, wouldn't you?
5-0. India, 9 in a row.
And Indonesia get their 11th win in a row as they take on the dud team, Myanmar.
Yeah, 4 points ahead now for Indonesia. Is it close to being unassailable?
I think so. They get, I think they still got to play some big teams, Indonesia. So it's not over yet, but they've put themselves in the best possible position, haven't they? They've won every single game so far. They are still undefeated, and good for them.
Yeah, the former Asian champions, remember. So the team with the biggest pedigree, I'd say, in this preliminary league. And yeah, they're running away with it so far. It's a brilliant result so far for Indonesia.
So,
what is going to happen between that sort of 8th and 9th thing? Are we going to see?
know.
Is the points total going to get closer?
Singapore, well, they've got Kuwait next. This is going to be a massive ask, isn't it? Because they're going to be 7 behind then with 4 behind, with 4 remaining if Kuwait win.
Now remember, this is Singapore who, let's say, haven't been on a great run.
No, they haven't.
Ouch. Okay. 7 points with 4 games left. That's not looking good for any team who's Singapore or Hong Kong for that matter. Solomon Islands.
Singapore downwards, it's looking pretty ropey, isn't it?
Solomon Islands need to win this or they're out.
Wow. If Yemen win, by the way, it lift them 3 clear of Turkmenistan.
Certainly would. Yemen need this. They get it. Solomon Islands are out. Taipei are out. Maldives are out. Vanuatu are out. We are down to just 11 sides with 4 games to go. Yemen with the double header here, taking on Afghanistan, who they do need a good win here to try and keep momentum with the current racing away leaders in Indonesia.
Yeah, if Afghanistan don't win this, I think you can almost give Indonesia one hand on the trophy, can't you?
Certainly could, especially if Andorra slips up the same way. Afghanistan do not slip up. 3-0. They move 1 behind for now. Can Andorra... It's a top-of-the-table clash here. Andorra, Kuwait.
Yeah, these two have both been extremely impressive. They've both obviously qualified at this point as well. Let's just clarify that. I think if either team win, they've qualified. I don't think Andorra quite have yet, but... Oh, no, they have. They've qualified, but we don't know if they're going to be dud or not.
Yeah. But a good... yeah, so a win here would qualify them not as the dud.
Correct.
That'll do it. That will do it for Andorra. It's a 3-way race for the title, but can India push in there now?
Actually, Indonesia, meanwhile, the current leaders, they have a chance to extend their lead back to 4 points as they take on Fiji, down in 6th.
Yep, could certainly do with some sort of result, Fiji here. A team who has not drawn as of yet. It's another win for Indonesia. They have got one hand on the title, I'd say.
I think so. They've moved on to 12 wins out of 12. Magnificent run. By the way, can I just say this? Indonesia, Afghanistan, and Kuwait all have the same goal difference.
Oh, yeah. Plus 53. Nice.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. India could join them, I guess. They got Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong. I mean, basically, it's win or you go home, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, that
It
probably
literally is win or you go home.
Yeah, that might be the next fixture for the... Well, it depends, I guess, on how Turkmenistan do. But yeah, to certainly at least be able to survive until the next round, Hong Kong do need to win this. They don't. 7-0 to India.
India going to 51 goal difference. That's still quite close.
Yeah, still quite close. Maldives now take on Tahiti. Tahiti. Now this is they need to win or they go.
Yep, Maldives, of course, still yet to win or score any points other than the dud team.
Yep, Tahiti, all they can do is dud in this situation. Win for Tahiti, so they're still in the case for a potential dud, but that's about it so far.
Taipei get 3 points over the dud team Myanmar.
Yep.
For all the good it's going to do them.
Oh no.
They're already out.
No, that's going to move them back into 12th. Will unless Solomon Islands win.
Unless Solomon Islands win.
But if they don't, Taipei's back in 12th again. And Indy's back.
Yeah, he's still going. He's still knocking about.
Good old Indy. Good for you, pal.
So then, not many fixtures to go in the Asian Preliminary League. What we've learnt is there is a clear gulf between those at the top and those at the bottom. But those at the top are all still competing for the title. They all, as much as it doesn't mean anything, it definitely means something to these teams, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you want to be there going, yeah, we're better than 15 teams. Was that bloke called Feeling Pan? Oh,
possibly.
no, sorry.
Fang
Pan, sorry. I thought it said Feeling Pan. I thought, on those lonely nights I could do with one of those. Singapore. They really need to stop the rot.
I mean, if Turkmenistan win this, then it's all over.
Yeah, that is actually, that's a good point. Yeah, this is must win for Singapore or draw. Draw will be fine, but that will mean that they and
everyone behind them are out. Then we have our top 8 with 3 games to go.
Yeah, I mean they'd technically still be able to get the 7th with a draw here, but that's about it for Singapore. A loss, and we have our top 8. But it's just all about what order they're going to be. Well, we have our top 8.
Yep, we do indeed. It's all over for Singapore, Tahiti, Hong Kong, Taipei, Vanuatu, Maldives, Solomon Islands, and, of course, our team, Myanmar. Solomon Islands taking on Vanuatu in an absolute bottom-of-the-barrel clash here.
Yep, if Solomon Islands fail to win, Taipei stay in 12th.
It's true.
Taipei stay in 12th, and Vanuatu get the win! Oh, look, goals against. Dirty nice!
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. And, of course, it does mean, of course, that Vanuatu have now won 2 games that aren't the dud team, so they could get another win still to come.
Bloody Maldives. Ooh, interesting clash here. Afghanistan take on Kuwait.
Yep, a loss for either team rules them firmly out of the title chase. A draw pretty much does the same thing as well. Well, certainly for Kuwait it does.
Yep.
So it's win or bust for these two.
They just need to keep winning. Kuwait get the win. That's a big result.
And Afghanistan lose their first game of the competition. It means they cannot well, they can still catch Indonesia, but if Indonesia win, they then cannot catch them.
Certainly, in Andorra, they could capitalise here. They've got Yemen, and Turkmenistan are going to be begging for Andorra to stop Yemen
To do them a favour. They're licking their lips at the possibility of Andorra beating Yemen.
Certainly, New Caledonia here. It's a draw. They've both slipped up.
They have both slipped up. So Yemen don't get the capitalisation of pulling away from Turkmenistan, but also Andorra have left the door wide open for Indonesia to win it on this game week.
Also, they've left the door wide open for the current 10 wins in a row of India to jump right in to Andorra and Afghanistan's bed, right into second place behind Indonesia.
Yeah, a win here for India puts them into second place.
Fiji, they're still looking to try and get away from that pack there, because they're certainly not out of the Dudwoods yet.
Nope, they're not.
8-0 India. India moved to second.
Wow, what a recovery from India. Indonesia, well, this is it then, isn't it? If they win this game, it's not a guaranteed title, but it's basically guaranteed.
Yeah, they will certainly have, they'll have one hand and a breath on the title if they can get a decent result at least against Hong Kong, a draw at least, a win, and the lowest it can go, it will be goal difference.
Yep.
For the title. 16-0.
And look at that goal difference.
Hey, nice! Yes! We had 2 of them!
Yes!
Yes!
At the same time.
Yeah, look at that! One's against, one's goal difference. All we need is one's 4. India, can you score another goal? And there you go. We got the trifecta of dirty nices.
There you go.
Love to see it. Taipei versus the Maldives, very much bottom of the table clash, but can Maldives get anything out of this?
A Taipei win here will put them into 10th place, actually. So, you know, they'll be the highest they've been for a while.
Yep. A draw or a loss will keep them in 12th.
12th. Yep.
Oh.
Wow, the Maldives won.
The Maldives win. Taipei stay 12th.
I tell you what, you've got 9th and below, which is kind of its own little mini league, and then you've got everyone above them, which is also its own little mini league. By the way, here we go. Tahiti are going to get 3 points as they take on Myanmar, so that's going to lift them up the table a little bit.
Yep. Argentina Junior, according to that flag. Vinny!
There he is. It's Vinny.
Big Vinny,
it's
2 in a row for Vinny.
Love to see it.
Oh, he's working overtime. Love this guy.
Yeah, what a bloke.
What a bloke. He's working overtime here, finally. But he doesn't now stay as welcome like that bloody RJ Fernandez does.
Yeah, RJ's a bit of a shithouse, isn't he?
He is the referee shithouse. He is. But he's probably the most well-known referee. He's probably the most popular referee, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's in the bloody intro, for God's sakes.
He's my favourite.
Just him turning up is like, oh god.
Yeah.
But it's always sort of like that friend that you know, just, you know, you're loving the bits, but you know they're going to get you in trouble if you go for a pint with them. So it's sort of like when you see them at the pub, and you're there going, oh, not this prick. And then just go, hey mate, how you doing?
By the way, all of that results in Taipei going back into 12th.
12th, yeah. Vanuatu, could put them into 13th if they can beat Singapore. Who,
So
let's
put
be
them
honest,
into 12th.
yeah, they've been looking crap.
If they win here, they put them into 12th place.
Yeah, they'd go above Taipei. Nope, Taipei staying 12th. At least for now. Turkmenistan, this is a big result required for Turkmenistan. This is huge for them.
Yeah, they just need to turn up and do a professional job on the Solomon Islands, who are, well, let's face it, way down the order. So this is a potential banana skin, but it should be all theirs.
Yep, Fiji lost. Yemen lost. Big chance for Turkmenistan. And they do take it! 13-0! Big result for Turkmenistan. That puts Yemen in 8th and Fiji. It was looking good at one point. It's not now, though.
It's not, is it? They are right on the precipice of that 8th spot now. This is a huge crunch match, because if Indonesia win, they win the league. If Afghanistan win, game on.
Certainly is on that one. Afghanistan cannot win the league anymore, but it leaves the door open for India and Andorra to do so.
Can they play party pooper against Indonesia, or will Indonesia get this their crowning glory?
It's 2-0 Indonesia! The former Asian champions win the Asian Preliminary League.
And India take on Andorra for second place here, basically.
Pretty much at this point. It's a 2-1 win India. They won 12 in a row.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, this is huge.
This is a must-win for both teams. Yemen and Fiji, the winner almost guarantees qualification, especially in Fiji's case, it does guarantee them at least 7th.
It certainly does on that one. If Fiji win, they qualify. It's a draw! Right
That's
at
not
the end!
good. That's not good for either of them, really. It leaves it all in the balance for the final game week. Turkmenistan have a chance to qualify outright, don't they?
They certainly do. Kuwait already qualified, but they can still take second place. And then
Goes
keep
high
up-
as third here if they win.
Yep. Hong Kong, well, they're very much out of it at this point. That's a big win for Kuwait, though. They move up into third place, and Andorra and Afghanistan, the teams who were in second and third place, respectively, for the longest time, they're not there anymore. And oh, what a result for Turkmenistan to get.
Yep, and of course, even if they didn't have this game, they have such a superior goal difference. It was looking great for them. A win here for Turkmenistan. It is qualification time. There is no doubt in my mind.
And then it's down to who goes through and who's the double between Fiji and Yemen. Turkmenistan all they need to do is beat Maldives, which they have done 7-0, obviously.
Yeah, so unless there's a 30-odd goal swing against, for either Fiji or Yemen, then it's over for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Fiji have the advantage in the final
They've got the extra
fixture.
point. They've got the extra point.
That
Yeah,
extra point, but Yemen have the goal difference.
they do indeed. And I think they have the dud team. I think they do. Well, Vanuatu have got the dud team for now, which means it's going to be their third win. And it's going to lift them up to, unbelievably, up to 12th.
Oh, Taipei's not there anymore. Brilliant.
Yeah, Taipei are going to move down the order. Vanuatu are going to have their third win of the competition here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's a
Who
much
would have
better
thought?
result. It's a much better result than bloody Luxembourg last week, wasn't it?
Well, they won nothing. They lost every other game.
Yeah. They only got the dud win, and that's it. While this one, yeah, there's some rubbish teams in it, but they've at least tried.
They've all, lost to each other, which is interesting. They've all played each other and lost to each other.
Yeah, and some of them have even got sort of a shock win, like against Solomon Islands or something.
Solomon Islands are in that kind of rubbish pack, aren't they? Let's face it.
Yeah, I'd say they're slightly higher than rubbish, though. Not by much.
They're a polished turd rather than just an outright turd.
Oh yeah, definitely a polished turd, yeah. That's them in a nutshell.
Okay, so Vanuatu get a win, which moves them up to 12th.
For now. Taipei are still yet to play. And why do
This
I
is
feel like
true.
they got the Solomon Islands? They
They may
do.
well do. No, they do, yeah. So this is the penultimate game of the 14th game week. Singapore take on Tahiti.
Really, just for pride at this point, a 9th.
Yep.
Is Tahiti with the win.
Lives them above Singapore and Taipei play the Solomon Islands. A Taipei win here lifts them up to the dizzying heights of 11th.
A draw puts them 12th.
It does indeed.
They just love being in 12th.
That's all they want to be. They just want to be 12th the whole time.
Just want to be 12th. Leave them alone.
Afghanistan take on India. India, of course, I mean, a win here means they finish second. Afghanistan, a win here could lift them as high as third.
Yep. India, yeah. Result needed for India. Can they go 13 unbeaten? Yes, they can. A brilliant resurgence from India has secured them second place.
Indeed, it has on 39 points, and Andorra take on Indonesia. Indonesia, a win here guarantees them a perfect 100% record.
It certainly does. A win for Andorra here could solidify them third place. Oh, right at the end, it's not perfect. New Caledonia draw.
And that is that for them as well. So Indonesia, of course, win, but they do not get the perfect 15 out of 15 wins that they would have wanted. They draw the final game against New Caledonia, Andorra, and it means that India will finish, well, second. Kuwait will finish third unless they have a monumental goal swing to Fiji.
But this is a big result for Fiji. They need this. If Yemen's got the dud, they need this.
Absolutely. This is crucial game time for Fiji.
A win puts them through. A loss, and if Yemen do either get a draw or if they have the dud, which is a guaranteed 3 points, Fiji's dud again. They need this. They need a win here. They haven't got it. It's 3-0, and Yemen don't have the dud, but they have Hong Kong.
It's not an easy one. It's Hong Kong, probably one of the more tricky of the kind of the chasing pack, but it's in their hands. Yemen win, and they are 7th, and it is Fiji who are the dud team.
A draw, and Yemen go 7th. And Fiji are the dud. It's really the only thing that matters left. It's a draw, and that will do it on goal difference. Fiji, dud again.
Heartbreak at the end for Fiji, and we can just motor through the rest of these results because there's nothing else to play for apart from perhaps the wooden spoon. If Maldives beat Vanuatu, it means Solomon Islands get the wooden spoon unless they win their final game, and then it could end up being...
Could end up being Vanuatu's.
Well, it could be. It depends on how many Maldives beat Vanuatu by. There is an 8-goal swing, so they need to win by at least 4 to overtake Vanuatu.
Certainly do. It's a draw 2-2.
So that's enough to lift Maldives above the Solomon Islands for now, and it means that Vanuatu move up into that coveted 12th spot.
Well, you know Chinese Taipei is going to get some points, right?
Yeah, and of course, Masterath are going to get the bye win here at the end, so they are going to absolutely secure their qualification. We already knew they were through, but they were never in doubt, let's say that much.
That will certainly secure 6th place for them, which, yeah, they'll
be happy with that.
Yeah, they've been able to do it. Fair play to them. Fair play to them indeed on that. Ah, Fiji right at the end. Hong Kong did everything they could.
They did everything right, didn't they? We thought they were doing enough to get through, but it wasn't quite enough, and Fiji have fallen to the wayside just at the end.
I think, like, wasn't it in the first, 7 games they got 15 points?
Yep, and it just kind of fell away slowly from them.
They only got another 10.
Still not a bad run, though.
Yeah.
It's still decent.
Certainly not a bad run. Right, Taipei versus Singapore. A draw for Taipei puts them 12th.
A win puts them 11th.
They could get that. It's 11th for Taipei! They didn't finish 12th!
They finished above 12th.
Fair enough. Right, this is some serious business.
The final game for the wooden spoon, the Solomon Islands need to get a result against Tahiti, who are, by the way, going to finish 9th.
Yep. Good result there for Tahiti. Solomon Islands, a draw will do it, or more. Oh, you're shit! Wooden spoon,
look at that goal difference at the end.
Shit, Solomon Islands. Maldives beat you. How bad are you?
Can I say the goals against, by the way, for Maldives?
Yes!
For Solomon Islands.
Okay, Solomon Islands, you're brilliant. You're great. You're my favourite team.
It was played for and intended, obviously.
To perfection by Solomon Islands. In 15th place.
Well, there you go. That's the end of the Asian Preliminary League. A bit of a foregone conclusion from about 3 games to go, but still entertaining nonetheless.
Yep, and with our roll call, 15th place with 69 dirty nice goal difference or goal against. But 7 points, that's the more important thing, I guess, to some nerds. Solomon Islands.
Yep, 1 win that wasn't the dud team, so that's a fairly decent run out, and a point as well from a draw elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, 69 goals against isn't great. You know, they're averaging,
No, it's
taking
nice.
what? But it's lovely. It's lovely.
It's nice.
Averaging at least 4 goals against per game.
Not great, really, is it?
Not great at all, no.
Next up, 14th place with 7 is the Maldives.
Yeah, they got battered slightly less than the Solomon Islands, and that's what gave them a chance to finish above them.
Fair play. They were a slightly less battered fish. But still,
There you go.
lovely place to visit. Lovely, beautiful place.
Oh, beautiful beaches, beautiful people. You know, Maldives is a wonderful place to go.
Terrible football club, though.
Awful.
Yep, 13th place, it is Vanuatu with 10.
Yeah, Vanuatu with 2 wins that weren't the dud. Fair play to Vanuatu.
For the longest time, they were there right there at the bottom as well.
They were below the dud for ages, weren't they? But they managed to get 10 points on the board, which isn't that bad. 73 goals against. Ooh.
Yeah, lowest goal difference, highest goals against in the whole league.
Yep.
Work to do.
Yep.
Next up in 12th is not who you thought. With 11 points, it's actually Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong, who, they started fairly brightly, but eventually just slipped away with the quality of the league being shown. Hong Kong finishing on 11 points, 3 wins, so 2 wins that weren't the dud, and 2 draws, obviously, which weren't the dud as well. So, again, work to do, but I think they'll be happy with that.
Oh, they've been bloody sneaky here.
Go
Okay,
on.
in 11th place, with a point total of
12.
12, it's Chinese Taipei. They got 12 in the end. Just not
Yeah, and
the
also,
12
can
we
we
were
just-
expecting.
Can we just appreciate Taipei only conceded 18 goals? That's really good.
They had a -5. Everyone's got like -40. Minus 42 is the next lowest of teams like from 10th and below. And they got -5.
It's obviously really good defensively.
Just not good offensively on that. I mean, they've got a better goals against than Fiji do.
Yeah.
Nuts, that is. And Fiji's going through. As a dud,
I know.
but they're going through.
It's crazy. Fair play to Taipei.
Yep. Next up, in 10th place with 15, it's Singapore.
Oh dear, they had a great start and then they just got battered left, right and centre, didn't they, for about 5 games. They conceded about 50 in 5 games. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
They just had top team against top team against top team, and sort of after that,
Never recovered.
yeah, they just didn't have the morale to do so. Completely shattering there for Singapore. They finished in 10th. 9th place, well, at least they'll finish top out of all the losers because the top 8 was decided quite early on in comparison to what it sometimes is. But with 19 points, runaway 9th place, it's Tahiti.
Yep, 6 wins on the board, so basically they lost to all the teams above them and they beat all the teams below them. So they couldn't really do much more to Tahiti. It's a shame really that they couldn't, mix it with the big boys a bit longer, but 9th place, I think they'll be happy with that.
Yep, certainly in 8th place,
Oh dear.
again, with 25, but their goal difference is -3. Joint on goal difference was 7th, but their goal difference is worse, so they will be 8th. They will be the dud for the Asian Oceania Global Trophy qualifiers. It's Fiji again.
Poor Fiji. But, they were close, but not close enough. They just slipped up that one time, didn't they? And, work to do for Fiji.
Certainly for next year, for the 2026 tournament. 7th place with 25. Much better goal difference, though, which means they're going through as an actual competitor. It's Yemen.
Skinnier teeth territory for them, but they only lost 4 times, so they'll be happy with that. They go through on 25 points.
Yep, and with only 12 goals against, which is a really, really good. Fair play to Yemen there.
Yep, better than Afghanistan's conceded goals.
Yeah. Next up, in 6th place, they were looking ropey for a bit, but they were able to steady the ship eventually. With 31 points, it's Turkmenistan.
Yeah, Turkmenistan, for a while, we said, they were kind of hovering around Fiji and Yemen, but they had the dud team at the end, and of course, an easier fixture, one from the end, so it meant they were able to stretch their legs and get away from Yemen and Fiji, and finish 6 points clear in the end.
Yeah, good performance there for Turkmenistan. 5th place, this is not surprising, but I think this might be one of the lowest rankings they've been at in the preliminary league's history for them. With 32, 5th place, Afghanistan.
Yeah, former winners of the preliminary league, Afghanistan, and they'll be shocked to see how far behind the winners they were this time. You know, a whopping 11 points, 3 defeats as well. Not good for Afghanistan.
Yep, but even if it may have been a subpar performance, they have qualified alongside our first substitute team of this tournament. Qualifying, that's not a dud. It is Andorra in 4th place, representing New Caledonia with 34 points.
Yeah, they were pretty consistent throughout, of course. Only lost the one game as well, which was against Indonesia. Oh, no, they didn't lose to Indonesia. They ruined Indonesia's day by preventing them from going perfect. So, good for them.
Yep. From out of nowhere, really. 3rd place with 37, Kuwait.
And, of course, they hold the record, don't they? Is it 17-0, or was that Indonesia who got it? I can't remember.
I think it might have been Kuwait. Yeah, it was 17-0.
They both had, like, multiple, big, heavy wins. They scored 70 goals, which is no mean feat, and, fair play to them.
And that's almost 6 a game.
Yeah, that's
Kuwait.
Nuts.
While only conceding less than half a goal a game. Good result for Kuwait.
Yeah.
Next, after 2 losses in a row at the start, they bounce back to win their next 13 on the trot. 2nd place with 39. It's India.
Yeah, good result for India. I think they'll be extremely happy with that. They, took all their chances after the first couple of games where they struggled, but, they'll be happy with that. I think they played Kuwait and Indonesia for their first 2 games, so I think, you can understand why they lost them.
Yep, they certainly bounced back at the end there. And 1st place, our champions of the Asian Oceania Preliminary League. Almost perfect. With 43 points, it's the former Asian champions, Indonesia.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if we're surprised that they've won, because, as we've said before, they have got the pedigree to back up their performances, but, they'll be kicking themselves. They didn't get the 15 out of 15, weren't they? They set them up quite nicely. I think Malaysia, who had to pre-qualify in the past, have done that. So
yeah, they've done it, I think twice they've done it, I think.
Yeah, so they'll be a bit annoyed at that, but hey, they've done it now.
Yeah, and 3 goals against in 15 games. 3.
Very, very impressive. And 74 4 in 15 games, which I believe is an average of 5? No,
almost 7 a game.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
No, almost 5 a game, sorry.
Yeah, so 1 or 5, and of course you have to remember they played the dud team, who obviously they have to win 3-0 against, so
yeah,
gives you an idea.
Certainly does on that one. So, Fiji, Yemen, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Andorra, Kuwait, India, and Indonesia will join our other 24 teams in the Asian Oceania qualifiers next month, a month from now, where we will find our 2nd batch of 8 teams to qualify for the Global Trophy Finals. But next week, we're halfway through now these preliminary leagues, and next week we have the return of the African Preliminary League, and we're so happy about this, the return as a competitor of the Big R.
Yep, Rwanda, of course, Rishi Sunak's scheme may have failed, but ours hasn't. Rwanda are back.
Yep, staying above. Who are the dud team? The Gambia. And Rwanda
the Gambia.
And Rwanda actually get to compete in this Global Trophy Preliminary League. What do you rate Rwanda's chances?
Very low.
Fair enough. Well, probably better than them being dud, right?
No, it is, and also, it does make us a little bit sad that we're only going to see that flag potentially once this year.
Crap! I didn't
you
think
never
about
know.
That. No, I didn't think about that. Oh,
we'll see.
Who knows? They may qualify, and then we get to see it a 2nd time at least, maybe.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, that's all for next week, folks. The Big R returns next week as an actual competitor in the African Preliminary League for the Global Trophy 2025. I'm a Masterath.
I've been Sven-Göran Eriksson 64.
And we'll see you next week for the African Preliminary League.